Over the last 3 episodes, we've watched your immune system do something genuinely impressive. Tell the difference between you and not you, with a precision that would make most airport security jealous. Fast responders, intelligence agents, precision assassins, an antibody factory with concerning productivity metrics. But we ended last time on an uncomfortable question. If your immune system is this good at spotting the difference between you and an invader, what happens when it gets that call wrong? Today, we find out. And it's not pretty. Let's start with the most common way this goes wrong. Allergies. Somewhere in your immune system is a cell called a mast cell, and its entire job is to watch for danger and sound the alarm immediately. No committee meetings, no second opinions, which is a great system, until it develops what can only be described as a wildly overactive imagination. In an allergic reaction, your immune system looks at something completely harmless, pollen, peanut protein, cat hair, and for reasons scientists still don't fully understand, it decides this is a mortal threat on par with an actual infection. Once your body has, incorrectly, decided pollen is the enemy, it produces antibodies specifically against pollen. Just pollen, an enormous amount of biological effort aimed at a substance that was never going to hurt you in the first place. The next time pollen shows up, mast cells covered in these antibodies detect it and immediately panic, releasing a chemical called histamine, which causes swelling, itching, sneezing, and if you're really unlucky, your throat deciding to close for business entirely. Your immune system isn't malfunctioning here. It's working exactly as designed. It's just defending you against an enemy that was never actually attacking. Imagine calling in an airstrike because a guy on the street looked at you funny. Technically, your security system responded. It just badly misjudged the threat level. Allergies are your immune system panicking about the wrong outsider. Autoimmune diseases are worse. This is your immune system forgetting who the outsider even is. Remember the dendritic cells and T cells from last episode, the ones responsible for learning exactly what counts as you versus invader. That entire system relies on your immune cells being trained early on to recognize your own tissues as friendly and leave them alone. Sometimes, that training fails. A T cell or antibody gets created that mistakenly flags a normal, healthy part of your own body as hostile. And unlike allergies, which react to something external, this is your immune system turning its very precise, very effective weapons directly on you. In rheumatoid arthritis, the immune system attacks the lining of your own joints. In type 1 diabetes, it specifically targets and destroys the cells in your pancreas that produce insulin. In multiple sclerosis, it attacks the protective coating around your own nerves. These aren't random malfunctions. They're targeted, precise, sustained attacks using the exact same sophisticated weapons we've spent 3 episodes admiring. Except now, they're pointed in the wrong direction. It's the security guard who was so good at his job, he eventually decided the building's own employees were the threat, and nobody could talk him out of it. So far, the problems we've covered involve your immune system being too aggressive. Cancer is the opposite problem, and somehow, that's worse. Every single day, your body produces cells with mistakes in their DNA, cells that are growing incorrectly, dividing when they shouldn't, breaking rules that healthy cells follow. Most of the time, your immune system catches these mistakes almost instantly. Killer T cells and NK cells patrol constantly, specifically looking for cells that look off. The problem is, some of these malfunctioning cells are very good at looking normal. They can produce proteins on their surface that essentially tell killer T cells nothing to see here. Or they can hide the very evidence that would normally get them flagged, like a criminal who figured out exactly what the security cameras are looking for and simply stop doing that specific thing. Occasionally, one of these cells doesn't just avoid detection. It actively convinces nearby immune cells to leave it alone, essentially talking its way past security. And once it starts multiplying undetected, you have a problem that started as a single misbehaving cell and grew into something your immune system can no longer recognize as the enemy at all. This is why your immune system catching cancer early is so important, and also why, once it doesn't, things escalate so quickly. It's not that your body stopped defending itself. It's that the enemy learned how to look exactly like a citizen. If cancer is an enemy that learns to hide from security, HIV is an enemy that goes straight for security headquarters. Remember the T helper cell from last episode? The project manager, the middle manager, the one coordinating literally everything, telling killer T cells where to go and B cells when to start producing antibodies? HIV specifically targets and infects T helper cells. This is, from a purely strategic standpoint, a genuinely devastating move. HIV doesn't need to fight your entire immune system. It just needs to slowly dismantle the one cell type that everything else depends on for instructions. Over time, as more and more T helper cells are destroyed, your immune system doesn't lose any single battle. It loses its ability to coordinate a response at all. Killer T cells don't get activated properly. B cells don't get the confirmation signal to start producing antibodies. The entire system that we've spent 3 episodes describing as sophisticated and well organized starts falling apart, not because it has been defeated, but because its chain of command has been quietly assassinated. Eventually, without enough T helper cells left to coordinate a defense, even minor infections that a healthy immune system would handle without you ever noticing become dangerous. This is what AIDS actually is. Not a disease itself, but the collapse of the coordination system that everything else in this series has relied on. Modern antiretroviral medications work by interrupting this process and can keep T helper cell levels stable for decades, which is one of the more genuinely remarkable achievements in modern medicine, considering what we just described. Remember the alarm signal from episode 1, the chemical alert that calls your immune system into action? Those signals are called cytokines, and normally they're released in careful, measured amounts, just enough to call in exactly the response needed. A cytokine storm is what happens when that system loses its brakes entirely. Instead of a controlled proportional alarm, your body starts producing massive, escalating amounts of these signals, which call in more immune cells, which release more cytokines, which call in even more immune cells, in a feedback loop that spirals faster than anyone can shut it down. The tragic part is that the resulting damage isn't caused by the original infection anymore. It's caused by your own immune system's response to it. Overwhelming, indiscriminate inflammation across your entire body, sometimes severe enough to damage organs that were never even infected in the first place. This is one of the reasons severe cases of certain infections can be so dangerous even in young, otherwise healthy people, whose immune systems tend to be the most aggressive responders. The alarm that's supposed to save you can, in rare and extreme cases, become the actual threat. It's every emergency service in the city responding to one small kitchen fire, simultaneously, at full volume, forever, until the response itself causes more damage than the fire ever would have. Here's the uncomfortable truth this episode leaves us with. Every single failure we just covered, allergies, autoimmune disease, cancer-evading detection, HIV's targeted sabotage, cytokine storms, isn't a flaw in a badly designed system. It's the cost of running an incredibly sophisticated one. A simpler immune system, one with fewer moving parts, would have fewer ways to fail, but it would also be far worse at doing its actual job, keeping you alive against an almost infinite variety of threats, most of which it has never encountered before, and never will again. Your immune system isn't perfect. It was never going to be. It's a few billion years of trial and error, improvised solutions stacked on top of older improvised solutions, running constantly with genuinely enormous stakes. And it gets the call right an almost unbelievable number of times per day without you ever noticing. The failures are rare. The successes are just invisible. 4 episodes ago, we started with a paper cut from an aggressively opened bag of chips. Since then, you've met soldiers that explode themselves on purpose, spies that travel across your body to deliver evidence, assassins with unnervingly good aim, a factory with alarming productivity metrics, and a memory system that remembers threats from years ago, quietly, just in case. You've also met the ways all of that can go wrong, and somehow, most days, it doesn't. Right now, while you finish watching this, that entire system is still running, recognizing you, defending you, occasionally getting something wrong, and mostly getting it right. It's not perfect. It's just been fighting for you non-stop since before you can remember, and it's not planning on stopping anytime soon.